friends, how are you doing today? My name is Aldona and I'm in Chicago. So since we are waiting for the rest of the attendees, please put your name and where are you from at the chat box. Today's class is gonna be about 4D foliage. Who knows what is that? Use the chat box if you have any ideas. Wonderful. So, who are complaining and that their lightning or any lightning, balayage, foils takes too much time and wish it's a little bit shorter? Put the thumbs up in the chat box. And wonderful. So who is ready to learn our newest, fastest and coolest new technique which gives you maximum dimension in such a short period of time? Are you ready? Put the heart in the chat box. Ooh, so many hearts. Amazing. Thank you again being with me this day, probably in your day off. So appreciate that we can spend this time together. And as we know, knowledge is power. It gives us more confidence behind the chair, and our guests feels more comfortable. And if we invest today in our education, it brings us a lot of benefits in the future. 4D foliage is our newest technique. It combines two words, foils and balayage. And balayage is open air technique, and sometimes we don't have enough lift as we wish. So not every guest is good candidate for this service. But using our new technique, when we use foils to incubate at the piece of the hair, it gives us as much lift as we can achieve. I didn't know this before. I struggle sometimes with the lift and with the placement and stuff like that, but right now I'm so happy that I know this technique and I'm using this most of my guests, and they are more than happy because the look is bright, it's a lot of dimension, and it's just beautiful. Let me introduce myself again. My name is Aldona, and you can find me on the social media as a Aldona Hair Addict. I've been in the industry since I was born. Yes, because I come from the hairdresser's family, starting from my grandma. I've been using Matrix products for so many years, but we're dating. Right now we got married when I became Matrix educator. Matrix is a great company founded by the Arnie Miller in 1980. He was the hairdresser and he decided to create environment for the hairdressers because nobody gonna understand the hairdresser better than other hairdresser. We have amazing mantra which comes from Arnie Miller. The mantra is think, believe, dream and dare. Always think outside of the box. It makes us grow. Believe in yourself and in your dreams, because if you can dream something, it means that you can do it. And dare to make mistakes. They are our lessons, opportunities. Never forget that one. And besides the mantra, our values. Our company, it makes everything as simple as it can be. Everything is so uncomplicated and inclusive. Everybody is welcome, and all humans or hair types. And uplifting. Our mission is empower hairdressers or every milestone in their career, no matter where are you from and what is your background. Everybody who joined our company has the same opportunity for the success. And it's accessible. It's such an easy access to the education. And here we have almost every day online classes and also it's a really good platform it calls Access. You can download this on your phone and have access to the education every time if you feel that you want to learn something new or come back to the previous classes. And before we dive in deeper in our new technique, there are a few rules. Our class is gonna be about an hour, and please turn on your cameras because I would love to see your beautiful faces, but put yourself on mute so you can hear me better. And ask as many questions as you can. It's our learning opportunity. It works both ways. And use the chat box, or you can take yourself out of the mute and ask the questions. And take notes because notes ground our learning. Sometimes it's good to come back to the notes if you are missing any piece of this class. And this class is recorded, so there is no need to record. Are you with me? Are you ready to dive deeper into our technique? Okay, so let's rock and roll. 4D foliage. What is 4D? Any ideas? Use the chat box, please. Okay, 2D it's like a piece of paper. 3D it's like me. I'm 3D. What is 4D? Any ideas? Yes, there are 4 steps. How many? 4. Let me tell you what are the steps. It's choose your level, section for strategic placement, T's, V's, foils, and tone. Choose your level for your starting level, not the natural level, unless our guest has a natural virgin hair. Otherwise, we go with the starting level. Sometimes the hair is already lightened or color, so this is our starting level. For this, I use level finder. And because we have, and here I go a little bit further. So we have 11 levels. From very black to extra light blonde, and then we have to pay attention for our underlying pigment. And then again, where are we going? Because sometimes we can use it, underlying pigment, when we want our final outcome like a coppery red, copper. So then we use it, or we want to lose it when, for example, our guest wants to be a very pale blonde or cool blonde. Then we are losing underlying pigment. We also, as a part of the consultation, we have to pay attention on diameters. How many diameters of hair do we have? How many? How many? Put in the chat box. How many? Yes, 3. It's fine. Yes, this is my hair. Fine, medium, or thick. So, coarse, I'm sorry. And this is also gives us an idea what formula I'm gonna use, because my formula are gonna be different for the fine hair and different for the coarse hair. Do you agree with me? Put A at the chat box. And the next thing we have to pay attention, create our formula, is pattern. How many patterns do we have? How many? Yes, 4. Put 4 for me at the chat box. And yes, we have a straight hair, we have a wavy hair, we have a curly hair, and we have a coily hair. Why this is so important? Because straight hair is round on all length, but the curly hair on this moment when it curves, it's flat, so it's more delicate. So it tells me that my formula has to be created especially for the curly hair or for the straight hair. or for the wavy or curly. It's coiling, it's very important. So, but let's come back to our 4 steps. So in this way, we know that foliage is good for all humans and all hair types. And so when we choose the level, and like I said before, this tells me what is my formula. For my favorite one, it's Light Master Pre-Bonded. And usually, because we are using foil, so it's for the incubation. Usually I use 20 volume developer. Our universal developer, we can use 10, we can use 30. I don't recommend 40 because the hair it's close in the foil, so there is no need. And who's gonna tell me why we use foils? We can use this like a open technique. What foils gives us? Yes, heat. We separate. But also foils helps us keep moisture, because we know when we use our lightener, when it's dry, it doesn't work. So when we incubate the piece of hair in the foils, there is moisture all the time, and it works. So it helps us achieve very high level of lift. Otherwise, when it's open air, when it's dry, it's stopped to work. Do you agree with me? Any questions so far? Okay. Now, our second step is section for strategic placement. Let me bring my doll, my mannequin, and of course, all the steps, especially first 2, choose the level and section for strategic placement, they are very important, and it's a part of the consultation. Our sectioning, it depends for so many things, how I'm gonna section the hair. So first of all, I ask my guest of the hair or his lifestyle, because if my guest put a lot of hair up like this, of course she wants to see a lot of brightness around the hair, unless she doesn't want to see her outgrowth. So then we skip this part and we start our sectioning later. So let me bring my card, my end. So what I usually do, I introduce the baby lights around the face, and I create with baby lights the money piece if my guest wants a lot of more lightning on the face. And so I go along the whole hairline with the baby lights. Then I'm sure that if she pulls her hair up here or on the front, she sees a lot of lightness. Halting foliage, it's not gonna take more than around 20 foils. Do you believe? Yes. How many? Not more than 20. So we start from the back here, and we are done with the baby lights here. Our next section goes diagonal back. This. And we tease. Teasing, it's totally up to us. It could be one move, that's it, or it could be a lot of teasing. Like you see, when we tease a lot, we have less hair here. So we're gonna have a little bit less dimension, and we're gonna be farther from the scalp because we have a lot of teasing here. But it's totally up to us and up to our consultation. If our guest wants a lot of dimension, then I would do just a little bit of teasing. And if she wants to go, especially on her top, closer to the scalp, then again, not too much tease. Okay, and now are V's. Why V's? It's a way how we paint the hair, and because it gives us beautiful dimension. Let me show you how it looks. Okay. I have my Light Master pre-bounded, formulated with 20 volume already in my bowl. Let me put gloves. Always remember about the gloves. There are a lot of chemicals. We don't need this introduced to our body. Okay, and we create our views. We can use the board. I don't use the board. So first I paint. We start in the middle of the hair. Why? Because we have more space to create the softness. And painting the hair, you need to remember about three things. It's tension, because when we paint, we can paint already at the foil. We can put the hair on the foil. I prefer this way because, and then I put the foil because it gives me more flexibility. So it's tension. It's easier to paint. Then it's elevation. See, it depends where I want to go. And saturation. Saturation is the key. If we want to have nice lift, it has to be good saturation. And as thinner is the section, then we have a better lift. And then we go underneath and we paint those ends. We want to have a lot of brightness on the ends. Now I grab my foil. Secure the foil with the clip, and I finish my painting. I leave the tip for the very end because it helps me to move my part of the hair. Check my saturation, and we paint with the V. If our guest wants to have only a little bit lightness on the ends, my V gonna be shorter. It's gonna be just on the ends and a little bit. Here I decided to go closer to the scalp, and this gives me more dimension. In this technique, I don't foil the foils. I just apply another foil on top, and I fold this very gentle. And it's done. I show you a little trick also with my baby lights. If you want to have nice constant pattern, make the little circles, not like weaving, but circles. Then you're gonna have nice and even pattern. Let me take the foil so you're gonna see better. I don't go all the way to the scalp because I need the space for feathering. It gives me softness. And I don't have to worry about the line of demarcation. Same as with the here we can fold because the section is very fine and don't squeeze too much. The same if you don't feel comfortable with your lines of demarcation, you don't trust yourself, then more teasing give you more chance that there is the line of demarcation is not that visible. And here I have the ready one. It's my 4D Foilayage. It's just the lightning with no toners. But I'm gonna show you this what I was talking about, the baby lights. Here do you see the softness and lightness around the face? And here I create the money piece. It's a little bit thicker here. If we want the money piece more like a bolder look, then we slice. I was weaving here, but we can slice and then it looks bolder. If we can take slices, of course we can. Here we can weave, we can slice, and again, if you don't feel comfortable with, afraid that you're gonna leave the line of demarcation, I would suggest to weave and you still can paint in the V shape. So it's based on your own preferences and how you feel comfortable to create a beautiful look. And like I said before, Foilayage is a great technique for all kind of hairs, all levels, all diameters, all patterns. And talking about the patterns, let's see amber. Of course, we can use the 4D Foilayage here, but with the texture hair, it's a little bit different story because we need to be more careful with the formula, and sectioning will be a little bit different. Here, I wouldn't recommend the baby lights. The sections has to be a little bit thicker because texture hair, when the sections are too small, we're gonna lose the whole point of foliage because it's gonna disappear in the amount of the curls. And talking about being careful, we here for the texture hair we use curl lights. It's a special lightener for textured hair. And let me tell a little bit here about this product because it's absolutely amazing. It lifts up to 5 levels and there are 2 items. As both are creams, so we use 1 sachet for the half of the tube. So for the 1 ounce of this cream and the whole package of this one, and it's amazing. It's so creamy and so delicate for the curly hair. If we can use for the straight hair, of course we can. And it's infused with the manuka oil, honey. So here I show you because I use the Light Master curl lightener here. So this is what I achieve with. We are using our universal developer, and here because it's a mannequin I use 30 volume, but in real life I wouldn't use more than 20. And it gives you, and this one you can use under the dryer, which is very important. Here I use 30 volume, I put her a little bit under the dryer. So this is what I achieve. This is the lift. I think it's amazing, and I didn't tone here. Okay, and now let's jump to our 4th step, which is toning. Toning is like a seal the deal. Imagine that you have nice, beautiful manicure, but you don't put the top coat on. What's going to happen? Our color is not gonna stay long, and it's not this shiny, vibrant color. So I call it like the seal the deal using toner, and it's our final touch. And for this, with the toning, like the 9 set, it's toned, so we give final tone. When we during the lightening service, we take the pigment out from the hair, and like everything in universe, if you take something out, you have to put something in. So using toner, we put the tone. We already have our level, but the tone, it's up to us. With the using our toners, which are So Color Sync, we can create nice, warm Californian blonde, or coolness, or like a neutral blonde. So here I'm using our demi-permanent colors, which are So Color Sync, and we have 3 options here with the toning. So yes, we have our acidic family, we have alkaline family, and we have fast toners. Which one we want to choose, it's totally up to us, and it depends what we got after our lightning service. If we want, like for the pre-toning, we use our absolutely amazing fast toners. They are great for the pre-toning. For example, when we washed our guest and we think that it's still a little bit too warm, then we use our fast toner. You can keep it on the hair not longer than 5 minutes. Literally, you have to stay by the bowl and look. They are so strong, they are very high ammoniated, you can smell it, and it gives you base for the next step, which is our go-to toners. And so with fast toners, we have 3 options. We have anti-yellow, which are for levels 9 and up. Then we have anti-breast from 8 to 5, and we have anti-red, which is from 5 and lower. Then we have our absolutely newest and amazing acidic toners and alkaline toners. How we know which one we want to use? Acidic toners are great for when we see that the hair are a little bit tired, then I recommend the acidic. Why? Because as we know, hair lives in the acidic environment. So we do everything to bring the hair as closer as we can to its natural environment, which is acidic. And alkaline is great. For example, when we see that we would like just a little bit of lift, so then I would recommend the alkaline toners, because they can shift up to half of the level. So it's amazing for that service. But it's totally up to us, and so we can, if it's one better than the other, absolutely not. Like I said, it depends totally up to us and what we see on our canvas. To keep the hair, the color longer and looking fresher, very important is, what is that? Any ideas? Who's gonna tell me what is that? Yes, is the home maintenance. 50% of the success is on us, but another 50 is on our guests. When they understand this, when we explain this on the right way, there we have 100% of the success. What I found the article saying about the pH, and some of the over-the-counter shampoos, they have higher pH than Tide laundry detergent. Isn't this interesting? Yeah. And then using this kind of shampoo, our guests come back and complain, oh, my color doesn't stay good, I don't like, it's not enough the vibrancy and stuff. So everything starts from the great shampoo, for the good shampoo. So first one, if we have a guest who has the platinum blonde or up to level 9, then I would suggest our amazing So Silver series. It's for the levels 9 and up. It has, it's pigmented and it helps to keep our colors nice and cool. Then, and with our gas has like darker blend, then it's a series of brass off. It's for the level 8 to 5. If happened that our guest is, for example, decided to go with the copper or red toner, then it's Keep Me Vivid. It's for vibrant colors or vivids, and it's extended the vibrancy of the color. And for every guest whose hair were touched by a lightener, I recommend the Unbreak My Blend. It's infused with the citric acid, which helps with damaged bands. And for all our textured hair, and as we know, our curly hair loves the moisture, then I recommend the whole series, Care Can Dream, which is infused with the Manuka honey, which is natural humectant, and it takes the moisture from the air and transfer this to the hair and help it keeps inside the hair. So like I said, it's curly hair love the moisture, so this line would be amazing. If we can use this for straight hair or wavy hair, absolutely yes. Every hair, when we see that they are dry and need moisture, this is highly recommended. If our guest's hair looks like a little bit dry and brittle, then amazing would be our newer line, which is Instacure. They are infused with the liquid proteins and they are anti-breakage. Since we are talking about the foliage, and one of the points were like teasing, sometimes we have a problem with the brushing, the teasing, there are a lot of tangles, then Instacure spray would be amazing. So you spray and then it's like a butter, believe me. It's also from the newest line. Okay, so if you have any questions, if you have any concern, please do this now, or you can always reach me on the social media, Aldona Hair Addict. And when you create any beautiful foliage, please tag us, Matrix and Aldona Hair Addict. I'm gonna send you a little survey, and it's gonna help us bring our education on the next level. What would you like to see more? What would you like? What you don't like? Hopefully nothing. So it's very helpful for us. And what is a good word after today, after this class? What first comes to your mind? Matrix? Okay. So matrix on 3. 1, 2, 3, matrix! Thank you so very much for your attendance today. Hopefully you got something new. Even if you got one thing, you plant the seed and it's gonna grow in the beautiful tree. So thank you so very much and hopefully see you soon.